Okay, we're live. Okay, here we are, you guys. This is the third episode of Stubborn Flower Girl. Well, it's Kristen Johnson, and we're having Start, Struggle, Build. And most of you guys, if you're watching this, know me. I just want to talk about a little bit about who's going to visit with me, who I'm going to visit with tonight. So I had been out of prison for about 9 months, and I was approached by the judge and the prosecutor and the Graham County Substance Abuse Coalition to start a program called the Sunrise Program. And it was a program that started going through the courts, and people that had minor drug or paraphernalia charges could be released to us, and they would do our program. Their sentencing would be set out for 3 months, and at the end of that 3 months, it would reflect in their sentencing. But we were like really putting it on social media, and this person following just started reaching out to me and being like, hey, can anyone come? And so Sunrise program started in July. When I had been out of prison exactly a year, we had a party. It was a Phoenix event, and she showed up and she never left. So I really want to highlight for the next few weeks my people in the Sunrise program. I have a core group of people that have been with me almost since the beginning. And what's up, Robert? And Robert Picard's on here. And I just like want to give them all an opportunity to share their story because the Sunrise program doesn't work without them. I'm the reentry coordinator in Graham County, and I'm going to bring her up. If you're watching, I'm sure you already know she's going to come on here, but I want to let her share a little bit of her story. Hold on. There you are. Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
And look, she has her Sunrise Project shirt on. Perfect. Oh, my sister's on. So, you can just go back and share some of your story and just tell about how you even came to be at the Sunrise Project program. And I just want you to kind of share a little bit of your story and tell everybody how amazing what you're doing now.
Well, I started doing drugs when I was 13 years old. I got into heavy drugs by the end of my seventh grade year, and I didn't really get into trouble as a juvenile, but once I turned 19, that was the first time I went to jail for, well, I got put on probation, and then so I was in and out of jail. When I was 23, I ended up, well, when I was 19, I had a friend shoot himself and die in my lap. And then I got really heavy into drugs because that was huge trauma to me. Like I'm still grieving it, and it's been 23 years.
Right.
I went to when I was 23, I was so bad on drugs, I ended up running somebody over, and I ended up doing 9 months in county for that. I was in trouble for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault, and it all got dropped. Like, I really lucked out on that. But once I got off probation when I was 24, 3 months after I got off probation, I ended up hitting a main utility line and knocked down 3 other poles because I was wilding out because I was off probation, so I didn't have to check in. So I went right back to using drugs. And I was in and out of jail. I don't know how many times, in and out of rehab. Finally, after I hit that main utility line, 2 months after that, I caught another DUI charge. So I got, the judge offered me 4.5 years in prison with 3 years probation. But at the time, I was pregnant with my daughter. I counterpled a counterplea of 2.5 years with 5 years probation. But at the end, when it got time for my sentencing and all that, because I hit a main utility line, they tacked on 4 more months of prison. So I went to prison with 2.5 years, and they tacked on 2 more years of probation after that. So I was looking at 2.5 with 7 years probation total. I went to prison. My daughter was 2 months and 9 days old. I came home to a 2-year-old. Thought I had life figured out. I was sober. I ended up conceiving my son. After my son was 1.5 years, I was still dealing with a little postpartum and just not being like worthy of my family. It felt like I was never doing anything right. So I went right back out into drugs. A year and a half after my son was born, I revoked my own probation and I went back to DOC. I got out of DOC. I ended up getting in a situationship with this girl that I should have never, if I could do it all over again, I'd walk right past her.
Right.
It was a toxic relationship. So she was just feeding me drugs and feeding me drugs. And it was hard because I was away from my children. I was just really bad into drugs.
Yeah.
Well, I ended up going to prison again.
Wait, how many times is this one up to now? How many times? 4? Is it 4 already?
4. I've been to prison 4 times.
Just really quick, I want to tell you, like, your story, when I hear it again, it's really very similar to mine. I was in a bad accident where I got the aggravated assault. And one day I was coming out of R&R Pizza and my grandma had just died and I was taking Xanax and some more stuff. It was from the doctor. So I pulled out of R&R and rolled up and hit into a utility pole. So yeah, no wonder we like each other so much, because we have like a lot of shared Your brother's on here and he said we lost count how many times you went to prison, Gilbert.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, then you got some other people on here. Anyways, Beatrice, but yeah, go ahead after that, when you went to prison that time.
When I went to prison the 3rd time, I violated parole. So I was in a halfway house and I got in trouble because it was a co-ed halfway house. I got in trouble for fraternizing with the guys.
Stop it right now.
So I'm not lying. So I got sent back to prison for 6 weeks. I get out, and again, I think I have life figured out, and I don't. I go right back to that situationship with that female, and it was just very toxic. Like I believe that the only way for me to get out of that situationship was either death or something, or I was gonna end up in jail for a really long time. So
yeah, I've been there too.
Yeah, man, it was rough. Just being with her, it was no good.
Right.
So, anyways, I get out of that relationship. I'm still doing drugs. I go to rehab. I graduate. I get kicked out of rehab for threatening and intimidating. I go to a sober living in Apache Junction, and I thought I was good. Well, I let this one girl talk me into getting high again. So we left the sober living. We were getting high. I ended up homeless in Mesa for 2 months before I finally broke down, and I told my mom, can you please, I cried to my mom one night at 10 o'clock at night. Can you please send me money for a bus ticket so I can come home? Well, I get home, and me and this girl were back and forth, together, not together, together, not together. I'm living like I'm homeless here in Safford.
Yeah.
I start selling fentanyl. I start selling drugs. I'm very bad into drugs at this point. Like, I didn't think I was gonna ever get clean. Like I would sit there sometimes and I would cry and I would rock and I would beg God, just give me a week clean so I can get cleaned out.
Right.
And I had a bunch of traffic at my house. And people coming, going. I met Eric Baetti. He started coming to he's doing the homeless ministry, right. And he's bringing sack lunches every Friday and every Sunday. So he's starting to get in my head about wanting to go to rehab. And I was just like, no, I'm too far gone. I would say, yeah, I'm gonna go, but I don't.
You're right.
And finally, I got tired of it, and I was maybe 170 pounds soaking wet. Like, we're not gonna talk about how big I am now, but
stop it right now.
I've gained a lot of weight, like almost 100 pounds.
Sober.
Yes. Sober. And it's okay, but Eric Baetti, like I said, was coming every Friday, every Sunday, bringing me the word of God, bringing me sack lunches. And finally, I told him, if God sits me down for longer than a week, because I knew I was going to go to jail. I was facing a charge from Pinal County because I got in trouble with one of my cousins. And I knew as soon as they ran his name, we were going to jail.
Right.
And because I didn't tell on him, they got me with the dirty seal. And so I was going to court in Pinal County, and I knew, no, I'm lying. The last time I went to prison,
Mm-hmm.
the last time I went to prison was from Pinal County because I wouldn't tell on my cousin, and they threw me in jail for a year for a dirty seal. So when I get out, all this other stuff goes on, and then I finally say, if God sits me down longer than a week, because I was going to court again because I got caught fighting with the girlfriend, and I got another paraphernalia charge. Like I got paraphernalia charges coming out of everywhere. Like
Right.
contraband, drugs, it didn't matter. So I knew I had to go to court, and I couldn't produce a clean UA. So when I went to go UA the last time, I knew I was dirty. Well, they submitted it to the court. When I went to court, the judge threw me in jail. He threw me in jail for 2 months. And I said, okay, God, I see you. Like I asked you for a week. You gave me 2 months. So when I was going to court, and I begged the judge, please let me go to rehab. Do not send me back to prison. That would have been number 5.
Right.
And I just begged the judge to not let me go back to prison. That I was gonna do good, and he went out on a limb, and he stuck his neck out for me, and he was like, I'm gonna let you go. He said, but I will send you to prison if you mess up. So I go to the Salvation Army. I'm at the Salvation Army. I get in touch with my higher power. I find God. 3 weeks after being there, they kick me out. They kicked me out because I have mental health issues, so they couldn't help me with my mental health.
Right.
So again, there I am, crying and begging the judge, please don't send me to prison. Let me find somewhere that's going to accommodate me. And I promise you, I'm going to stay clean. So he let me choose another rehab.
Are we talking about Judge Peterson here?
No, Judge Ragland.
Okay.
And he's very strict. He knows my family very good. And he was like, okay, Patricia, he's like, I'm going to let you find another rehab. So I go to a 30-day residential in Tucson, and it's only 30 days. Now, when I finish my 30 days, I'm trying to find a rehab to get into and all that. But because I've already had almost 4 months clean time,
right, it's hard.
No rehab would accept me.
Right.
So there I am again, begging the judge, please just let me come home. Let me do my IOP. Let me do this. Let me do that. So he's like, okay, I'm going to give you a chance. He goes, and again, if you mess up, I will send you to prison.
Mm-hmm.
And so he lets me come home. I get into my IOP. I start doing my IOP. I start telling everybody, if you're messing with drugs, like, don't come around me. I can't have it because I will relapse.
Right.
Like I have an addictive personality, and it anything like that could have just sent me back into a relapse.
For sure.
Well, I actually worked on myself. I started getting my medications regularly, started taking them every day like I was supposed to. I finished my IOP. I went and I got my peer support.
Yes.
And well, while I was doing IOP, that's when I found your Sunrise program. I seen it on Facebook, and I was talking to a friend at the time, and I was like, hey, let me see if we can go to this class. Like I want to do anything that's going to help me stay sober.
Right.
So that's when I hit you up, and I was like, can anybody come? And when I went, it was, I felt like I belonged here.
Yes.
Like I didn't feel judged. I didn't feel like I was a burden. Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
You're going to make me cry. Stop it.
I didn't feel like I was a burden, and I felt like I had the support that I needed.
Right.
Like
so and I remember when you came, and I remember, and I know this has changed now, you would talk about, like, you were very broken still when you came. You would cry, and you were having a lot of different relationships, issues, like at home, just whatever. And you were just, yeah, you guys came and you stayed, but you literally started the Sunrise Independent program, and thank gosh, because but just like I saw you grow and just get more and more stronger, because you could talk about this more, but when the position came open for the Caring Hearts, I was like, Patricia, you should apply, and you're like, no. I'm like, you should totally apply, and you're like, I can't get it. And I was really pushing you to, and I talked to Kathy about it, and there was just a lot of, and then you got it, and then I remember the day you brought all those papers up to the thing, like all the paperwork, and you sit down and you slam it on the desk, and you're like, I can't do this, I'm in a relapse, and I'm like, calm down. Eric Bayetti came in to talk to you. Hi, look, Carmen, we have your shirt on, and I'm like, you're gonna work through this. It's gonna be okay. And it's just amazing to see how you were to how you are, and that's why I want to have all you guys from Sunrise, because I want people to know about the Sunrise program in the community, that if you need help, you can come and we will support you. And it's just like, I don't know exactly why it works, but also you're just, I remember you saying that I don't, the steps don't work for me. This makes me feel, and this makes me feel, and I know you do the steps now. I feel welcome here. And oh, you don't? Okay, so
No.
okay.
I
Well,
stand firm. I stand firm. I'm a firm believer that I cannot work the steps because they
okay,
are a trigger for me.
I get it.
And me having a relationship with God today and having the support that I have, like I just, the steps aren't for me. And they're not for everybody. You know, I know a few people that don't work the steps and they're still sober.
Yes,
And God has got me through some tough situations, and God has got me to where I'm on the 21st of February I will have 2 years and 6 months clean.
it's amazing.
And
I
if I didn't
remember.
have the support that I have with you, with Kathy, now my relationship with my family is a lot better than what it used to be. Like they support me 100% now, and it
Yep.
feels really good to have my family have my back like that.
Yeah,
And it's a really good feeling. Like
mhm,
I belong here.
yeah.
I was put in the house manager position because I want to help people that are just like me, people that are struggling, people that don't know how to do it, something, you know. I can teach them, I can show them how I got clean, and that's my goal, like to help everybody still struggling.
Yeah, and I remember, I recall one day we were at church, and you were just like, you were, and then I was still telling you, you got to get this house position, and you were just crying and so upset, and things were just like falling apart. And I'm like, just hold on a month, and then you got the position. And I have to say, for Kathy Grimes, I don't know if she's watching or not. She's literally a lifesaver for me and you. She took a chance on us. Like, I was emailing her. Now I'm going to get emotional. Before I even got out of prison, and she was like in my living room in like a week, and took on the newsletter, and she's so supportive of us. And she's never had an addiction problem. But the one thing I want to say about you, Patricia, you're like me, but you bring a little more gangster to it. Not that I can't be a G, because trust me, I can. How you will advocate for others in recovery, like not a lot of judgment. You also won't baby them around either. But I've heard the girls say that she's really supportive of us. And I didn't know how that part was going to go, like being nurturing and all that. But I love the way, and I'm the same way. You will take a stand for people like us, because if you're not an addict, you don't understand, like you don't get it.
And a lot of people judge what they don't understand, and it
Yes,
shouldn't be like that. Like
right.
it just, we're here to help people, not hurt them.
Gilbert said he's proud of you.
I love you, brother.
We love you, brother. And yes, Kathy does have a heart of gold. um
Yes. If it
I
wasn't for Miss Kathy and the coalition, I
yeah,
would still be working at Burger King.
yeah,
Maybe not even like still smoking weed and probably relapse by now.
I remember when you were like, I stopped smoking weed because I want this house position. And I was like, that's huge, because I know it was one thing that kept you level, whatever. But I mean, just to see the growth from when you just first came in there, and I love it how we have this core group of people. Now we have the girls from Kathy Graham's Caring Hearts coming. We have the guys from the house. We have me, you, Shay, Eric, Stacy, the like core group, and we have people from the community like Eric, Ruben, my brother, my sister-in-law, that come and support us at the center. We're planning and we haven't really planned it yet, but the Sunrise program and then the men's home and the women's home, we are going to plan a community event where we can be out in the community, and there's also going to be law enforcement there. Me and Patricia legitimately sit at a table. It's wild. We sit at a table. We're the only ones that have been in prison because there's a sheriff, there's a probation officer, there's Judge Peterson. And the reason I thought maybe you were talking about him is because he said the same thing to me. He said, I don't know why, Kristen, but I'm going to grant you a level of mercy. He said, if I ever see you back in front of me again, you're getting 15 years. And I was in shackles and chains. I had come from DOC. And, you know, the first time I saw him again, I was out 2 weeks. I went to a substance abuse coalition meeting and I saw him walk by the door. And so he sits down. I get up after the meeting and I walk over to him, and I'm, you know, I'm really seriously funny, or I think I am. I go, Judge Peterson, I know you don't recognize me out of stripes. And he goes, Kristen, do not go back to prison. He's like, I want you to do good. I want you to, you know, what, but I have to say, like, Judge Peterson, I was going to get 7 more years. Hi, Christy. Hi, Sam. And he just knew he could take a chance on me. And it brings me back to the day we were at the ribbon cutting for the Kathy Grimes.
I was just thinking of that too right now.
He walks over, I'm talking to you, and he walks over to me and he's like, I don't think I know you. What did you tell him?
I was like, you sent me to prison a couple times.
I love it. It's awesome.
But it was cool because he didn't recognize me because I like when he was the judge, when he took over for Judge Holt, like I didn't get into trouble while he was in the stand. But Raglan, because Raglan knows my family, he was a little harder on me, and I'm very grateful that he was. You know
what is really amazing though, since we started the Sunrise program, and there was some pushback from probation and stuff at first, but if you're doing the Sunrise program and you're doing good, I mean, I will go to court with you. I started going to court with Eric before he ever got out, and I don't just go to court with anybody, but for me, hi Sam, to walk into court with somebody and the judge to know that if I'm there with them, they must be doing good. Like for me and you to be able to walk in together with the girls from the sober living and sit down, and it feels really good that we're respectable, because it didn't used to be that way. I have to tell you something really quick. So the other day, so anybody who's watching and hasn't been to jail, back in the day, you could have people drop off whites like underwear, socks, boxers, t-shirts, and you could wear them so you would have them in jail. You can't do that anymore. So if you think there's any chance of you going to jail, you wear white underwear, you wear a white bra, you wear white socks, because they're going to take anything else from you that's not colored. The other day, I roll up to the house. I'm not going to say his name, to pick up one of the guys from court. This fool comes rolling out, whited out. Like, dude, do you think you're going to jail today? And he's like, just love you, Eric. Just to be safe. So we go to court, and somebody at the courthouse walks over to him. He's done. I'm taking him out. Like we're leaving together. He's not in cuffs. And it doesn't always happen that way. And somebody from the court staff comes over and he goes, dude, stop dressing like you're going to prison. But people that know, like what we know, I remember back in the day in the old jail, my sister could bring that's when the girls could wear boxers, all that. Yeah, drop off sports bras and ankle socks. But that's a thing. Like if you ever think you're going to jail, you better get your whites on, or you're going to. The guy told me, he goes, I'm prepared. He goes, last time I had to give up three trays for some white.
So many times I went to court. So many times when I would go to court, I would go dressed in my whites, white underwear, white socks, white everything. Yeah. And I would wear 2 of them just because in case if I went to jail, like I didn't want to be wearing the same underwear for a whole week.
No, I get it. And then when you're going from jail to DOC, like, you're not getting, they take everything for you, your hair ties and all of that. So people just don't understand how crazy it is in jail that you leave all that behind. And I'm just going to say it, socks, underwear, whatever, you wash it, whatever. And because you go to prison and you have nothing, and then you come out, you get to state issue, they don't even have new panties. They don't even have, like, they give you 3 pair of pants, 3 socks with holes in them, shoes that don't fit. I mean, prison is hard to get like yourself situated unless people help you. People don't really believe that they don't give you new underwear when you go to prison. It's a fact. I mean, sometimes they do. I had a sports bra with a big old hole in it, shoes that were way too big, pants that were way too big. And I was just lucky enough to have somebody eventually. I had Joe Whitlock there and she helped me out. And then, eventually you get to shop and you get your stuff. But I think it's kind of crazy too that you and I, there's people popping up on here right now that I know from prison and from prison. Christy Dobbs, don't ever go to jail. You don't want to. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Hi, Christy.
Yeah, she said, hi, friends. But that's the thing is county jail is really bad. And so when we started the Sunrise program and I could pick people up from jail that would come, I would try to tell them, you got to quit going to county jail. When they brought me back from prison to county jail, the whole time I was there, I was like, I cannot wait to get back to prison. And I remember when I used to be in county jail and girls would come back and say that, I'm like, why does this chick want to go back to prison? County jail is terrible. If you were on here and watching it, don't go to county jail. Don't go to prison, but definitely don't go to county jail. I mean, I think it's crazy that you and me go together to Walmart and we're buying all this stuff. How many people we run into that are like, well, everyone in Graham County is Patricia's cousin. Everyone. Even white people. Like, how do you have white cousins? I don't get it.
That's true.
No, really. Like, people walk up but people are genuinely happy and proud to see you doing well. I want to talk about, there's like 19 people watching, and I really everybody always asks me, how can we get involved? Do they ask you that? I want to volunteer. I want to do this. And then nobody comes. But Wednesday night from 6 to 8 at the Sunrise building up on the hill. And Kareen, I love Kareen. I was in prison with her. That girl's crazy. From 6 to 8, we're having a recovery, coffee, whatever, get together. I'm going to talk about my programs. Patricia's going to be there. Kathy will talk about her programs a little bit. We want the community to get more involved. And that's why we want to plan our thing. And if you guys want to come next Monday to Sunrise at 5:30, we're going to plan a cool community event where the people in the houses and Sunrise, there's going to be law enforcement there. I want people to see that that we can coexist. But at Christmas time, me and Patricia are at this thing and the Safford Police Department is there. And I'm like, come take a picture. We're taking a picture with the police sign, but it's just, I'm like walking over to him. It's still I work with Judge Peterson. I work with PJ, but it's still, you see a cop gets behind me and I'm like, oh, going to jail, got a warrant, going to jail right now. So you know how that is.
See, being a house manager, since I've been the house manager, I've had 4 of the police. Sherry O'Neill's my favorite. I was her first arrest when she became a cop. So me and Sherry got some history.
Oh yeah.
But since I've been the house manager, I've had 4 cops come up to me and tell me, they even gave me fist bumps and a hug, telling me that they were very proud of me because I was really, really, really bad on drugs.
Oh, me too. And I've been in and out of Graham County Jail. I took like a 14-year hiatus or something. But then I started drinking again and using again. And I was right back to jail. And I've known PJ for like years and years, even when I was in high school. And actually he's a rope with my dad. He's good friends with my family. But I take pictures with him sometimes. And what's crazy is, and I'm not even kidding, when PJ was on the drug task force, he has kicked and rammed my door in a lot of times. And he would try to, like, at least 4, you know what I mean? That's when there was a drug task force. And, my dad, even the last time I got in an accident and somebody was hurt, my dad went in and was like, keep her, you have to keep her. And PJ's like, I can't just keep her. And when I saw him after that, I was going to prison. He hugged me, and we're lucky to live in a valley where people are forgiving. PJ always says, though, I still got a house for bad people, because there's people that need to be in jail. There's people that deserve that need to be in prison. I see them all the time. But people just don't understand, really. Like, even from seeing you a year and a half ago, what a miracle it is. But I've shown you my mug shots, and other people have seen them. I mean, I went from.
Ooh, we don't want to see mine.
No, we don't. Oh, Corinne said I saved her life. I love her. She's my friend in prison, and we were so funny, and we would just play the funniest tricks. Like I'd come home and I would have no pillow, no blanket, no nothing, and I'd go over to her house and I wouldn't know where it was. She would hide it so good, and I love her. So what's really cool about Corinne is when I got out of prison, she came and met us and we were eating, and it's so funny because I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, will you go with me? And she's like, yeah. We're in IHOP. I'm literally like, where's the toilet paper? Like I'm gonna carry my toilet paper in there. She had to like help me because I was so crazy. I love you so much, Corinne. These are it's crazy how when I'll see you typing like MJ, Colby, Kat Dunn, and I'm like, what you know about these girls? And yeah, you were incarcerated with them.
Yes,
And
I played softball with them in prison.
I'm surprised we never ran. Corinne said, Kristen, let's see your DOC photo. They've seen it, Corinne. So I have this, my mugshot. I don't know if I've shown it to you. I have glasses on. I look so crazy and I look like a dude. And I had to wear that for the last, you don't only get a new picture every 5 years. And people would be like, is that your brother? And I'm like, my brother is way cuter than that. Be quiet. Don't ever say that's my brother again. But yeah, prison is a trip and being sober is a trip, but we are a testament. I love you too, Corinne, that it can happen. And that's the thing about Sunrise. If you guys really want to come and be a part of it, we do all kinds of different things there and have people come. And sometimes we just sit around in a circle and there's tears, we really support each other. There was somebody recently that lost somebody and we just rallied around her. Eric's mom said, "You love you some Patricia. You're killing it." She is.
Thank you.
But yeah, she said thank you. I also want to talk about this coming weekend, Sunday, right? So on Saturday, Patricia and I are going down to be part of a Convicted Comebacks community event. So if anybody on here is from the Phoenix area, we're going to go represent like the light, just take some information, but we met in prison, the girls from Convicted Comeback, and then we got out, we're doing our own thing, and then we got back together. Kristen Klein and her wife Megan started something called Convicted Comeback, and we go in once a month, take fitness to the ladies, but we're just going to go, and there's a lot of like girls that have been in prison coming, just so we can network, just so we can support. There's going to be a team there, a media team, to where we can all kind of share our story, but Convicted Comeback is something really cool that I've been a part of. It's like one of the best things I've ever been involved in. And so Patricia's going to go, we're going to represent Graham County, but you're going to meet a lot of cool people, and Colby's going to be there, I'll let you know. I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We got to go to Texas Roadhouse.
Yes. Make sure you get on the saddle.
Yes, that's like one of my main goals is go to Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Eat some food.
For sure.
But it's going to be fun. And I always say, and I'm dead serious. My parents are on here. Sorry. I'm dead serious that the Sunrise program and the work we do there is literally the most important work and the most amazing thing I've ever been a part of. I mean, aside of my family or whatever, but the Sunrise program, and it wouldn't be possible without the coalition. We have it up there and we've just grown it, and we don't get many from the courts, but we just grow it and we show up for each other. And Chief Big Toe, Eric, stop it right now. But we got Eric, and we got girls in the house now that have been coming for a long time. I can't stand Eric. I really want to get Shay on here, Stacy on here, and then start having some of the girls on here. I want people to see the important things we're doing at the Sunrise program, and people to see how amazing the girls in the house are. The guy's house, the girls' house is really amazing. I've become really attached to those girls, and they're doing well. It's really not as easy for women as it is for men. Men can get out and get a side job. Men can get out and rip up carpet. Men can go work and do demolition work. These girls have all had to go work fast food, and they're doing it. You know what I mean? And they show up and support each other. And when people are like, oh, wait till the women's house comes. That's why in prison, we can have a dorm of 134 people. I was in Stafford prison recently. They can have a dorm of 30, because you know what? Those guys Gilbert can't get along. Your brother, he said, if I want to go viral, you need me on there. Oh, good point. Hi, Tyler. But everybody was like, you think there's drama at the men's house? Wait till the women come. I'm just going to throw this out there. Women know how to behave better than you men. And it's mind boggling. Guys get out of prison and come to the house and they have a harder time getting along. And it's just, and you have a lot to do with that. Not that I'm bagging on guys. I'm just saying that there's a reason why a large amount of females can coexist in prison and they can only keep a small amount of men, you know, not that we don't have fights and stuff like that, but the house is really amazing. And I love that it's named after Kathy Grimes, Caring Hearts. She deserves that. You know, that's a really big deal. There's a gym in Pima named after my dad. That's a really big deal while you're still living to have something named after you. It really is. Because usually, you know, they name a building after you after you know, you're not around anymore. But for her to be alive still and in the community really shows up and supports her. Kathy's a rock star. Gilbert, your brother almost he's cracking me up. He said he gave a rib for us all to exist. Kristen, I'm
he gave a rib.
Yes, I'm gonna reach out to you about the books for sure. I want to make sure and really make sure that everybody knows. And there's a lot of people on here. You guys show up to our thing. Not a rib Greenson. Show up to our recovery event on Wednesday night from 6 to 8. I'm only going to be there for a little bit because Pima has a basketball game and my nephew's playing. But the Phoenix is a sober, active community that we have events here in Safford. So some of my friends I met in Phoenix and I became involved in that's a crazy thing too. So the first event you came to of mine was a Phoenix event and you're like, I'm already a member of the Phoenix. You're probably the only person in Graham County, literally, besides me. And so the Phoenix, we brought it here in Graham County. We have events all the time. It's a sober community that focuses on support and connection for people that are sober and their allies. It's just sober fun. And
I actually found the Phoenix on Facebook as well.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I seen it on one of my reels and I clicked on it and I downloaded it and I was like, I started scrolling and I was like, oh, these are all people from Phoenix. Like, I'm just going to become a member. And then I started tracking my sobriety time with them. And then it's just been, I've been a member ever since, I want to say, 2023, 2024.
Yeah. I love in the morning sometimes when I wake up and it's like, you are 7 years, whatever, sober today. And I love that recognition. But the Phoenix, we brought it to Graham County and we have amazing events. And the Phoenix is actually going to be a support for Wednesday night because they want to be a part of recovery in Arizona. It's a sober event in Arizona and they're going to provide the coffee, stuff like that. So that's another thing in our community that we have, Sunrise and the Phoenix. They believe in a holistic approach to recovery. We do all kinds of stuff at Sunrise that people should come. We do the sound bowls. We make vision boards. We just have fun. We have a party anytime something turns around. We haven't had a good party in a long time.
Yeah, I know. We haven't had anybody graduate.
That's because I don't graduate.
They might be graduated, but they haven't got their certificate.
No, they can't graduate because then they think they don't have to come and want to leave. When people come from the court and they only had to come for 90 days. But Goodnight Gilbert would only be there for 90 days. The only people that kept coming were like Shay, because she did it through the court. I would be so sad when they would leave because, you know, when they were in there for that, I went to court with them. I worked on different things with them and but it just would make me really sad. And so I've changed it to where we just need to do a certificate of recognition because I know even if they graduate, you're still going to have them be in attendance.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk
the girls from the house, that meeting is mandatory and it's actually, they like it. It's not like I'm forcing them. They're like, what time are we leaving for class? Mm-hmm. Or they'll be like, we're having class tonight, right?
Well, the reason, and I really appreciate that is, and I always tell people that come to Sunrise and sign up for the Sunrise program and come to the houses. I will help you with a cell phone. I will help you try to get a job. I will take you to court. I will help you get your license. I will, help you make a resume. I will take you down. I have deals with the thrift stores where they can get clothes. Like I will take you and help you fill out the paperwork for your food stamps. You know, I had one guy that I helped him for months get on a PD. And I always tell everybody, you know, I will do anything for you, but I'm going to support you as much as you've ever been supported, but I expect you to match my energy. So I really appreciate it when people like you guys, Eric, you know, Jack, all them are like, yeah, I'm going to show up for her because she shows up for us. Because it used to really break my heart when I'm doing this stuff and they didn't. But you know what? When I give somebody a phone and hygiene and all that, and I never see him again, a lot of times I do see him again and they'll come back. They'll be like, hey, I couldn't take the help before, but I really want to come back. And I think one thing I was thinking of is I think it was in, so 8/18 of 18 is my sober date. What's yours?
August 21st of 2023.
And then what is Eric's? Eric's is just right before mine, the 14th.
The 14th of 23.
So how amazing
or
was
24.
that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, 24.
He's on here. He said he needs some food stamps. Beat him up.
You better go to DES.
Yes, get down to DES. Good night, Gilbert. So it was really awesome for me. So I got my 7-year chip. You got one. You got two. Eric got one. And oh, he said 8/14/24. For us to stand up there, and that room was packed. Not only did we have the support of some of the people in the recovery community, we had the support of people from the houses, but for all of our families to be in there to support us, that place was literally packed. And Kathy be there to support us. And that's a good feeling because we're three people that society had counted out. You know, we were highly disfavored by society. I mean, Eric went to county jail, but Patricia, I can't even imagine between me and you how many felonies we have. Like it's not that I'm proud, but it's got to be like astronomical. I mean, because we were bad citizens for so long.
I got a rap sheet that's bigger than the Bible.
Girl, one thing I like to do. Hi, Stacy. One thing I like to do when I go speak somewhere or the college students come, because it's really very shocking, is I don't know if I've ever showed it to you. I have them all taped together. So I always go up and I say, this is my mugshot. And then I let it go. And I hold it like right, I'm standing up. I hold it right here and whew, it hits the ground. And then my mugshots are so crazy. And there's more than that. And then I do my prison pictures. I'm like, I just got a picture every year I was in prison. And it's just kind of shocking. I do that because people look at me and are like, you don't look like you've been to prison. It doesn't discriminate. I was raised in a good home, good parents, who taught what was right or wrong. I just wanted to go out and party, and I became an addict. You know what I mean? I became, and then in my 30s, I became an alcoholic. I started drinking really heavily. So, and kind of lost my mental health in February of 2015. And this is over alcohol. By February of 2017, I was heading to prison. So I was going to do 5 flat and I was going to get 7 more. So that's how fast you can burn your life down over alcohol. Then I bottomed myself out. I picked up a DUI where my passenger was hurt really badly. And, you know, that's something I'll always have to live with. But you've got to forgive yourself. You've got to find a way to move on. It's kind of crazy how similar our stories are.
It took me a long time to forgive myself when I ran over that person. Mm-hmm. Like I literally could have killed him.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for me taking him to the hospital, he might have died.
Right.
Like I was so numb from all the drugs, and then he was just fighting with my cousin, and she had their baby, and he tried punching the window, and I don't know. My foot let off the gas, and the tire caught his pant leg, and it took him under, and the car went over him, and I drug him for 3 feet. And then I stopped and I was like, what the hell did I just do?
Right.
So I get out of my car and I'm freaking out. And my cousin gets out of the car to go take their baby to the cousin's house that was in the apartment complex. And I just got him. I pulled him out from under my car, threw him in the back of my car, and I took him to the hospital. But had I not taken him to the hospital, I could be considered a murderer. Like, mm-hmm. And that's not something that took me a very long time to to even heal from, and I still haven't fully healed from it.
Me
Like
either.
that's some trauma right there.
It's very traumatic. And then you think of the other person, and those are situations where God saved us. Those are God shots, those were, but we couldn't hear them. We were too numbed by drugs. I'm going to tell you the day my life changed, and I was just talking about this today. So I'm in prison. I'm serving 5 years. I had got out and committed that DUI, and I had signed my plea, and they told me I was going to get probation, or I was probation eligible. When I get on the phone in prison, and they said, "Oh no, we're recommending 7 years." When the prosecutor, the county attorney, and probation recommend 7 years, you're getting 7 years. Like, you're
Yeah.
getting 7 years. So, hi Ingrid. So I come back to court, and a lot of people had wrote me letters. I sat down and wrote a really good letter. I'm in the county jail, and I'm in there with, like, my whole family's there. A lot of them I've never, like, spoke to in years. My daughter's there. Terry didn't come because he's like, we weren't even speaking at that point. But my lawyer says, "Judge, can I bring you these letters? Can you read them?" And Judge Peterson said, "Let me take a recess." He goes and reads them, and he comes back, and he's like conflicted, you can tell. And he got up to my brother had also got up. This is where the saying the light comes. And he said, "What is to give light must endure burning." And my sister's done some burning, but she has light to give other people. So he changed a lot of things. But Judge Peterson reads the letters. He comes back, and you can tell he's like, "What am I doing?" He said, "I'm going to do something that's not going to make me very popular here today." And I knew in my heart, I was like, I am not getting 7 more years in prison. I just knew it. And you could feel like everybody in the courtroom holding their breath. And he said, "I don't know why, Kristen, but I feel called to grant you a level of mercy." And he gave me 5 years intense probation. And you could, like, feel the air go out of the courtroom. So I'm still in shackles. They take me back to prison. And my dad told me, he said, "Kristen," I said, "I can't believe that. Can you believe that? That just doesn't happen." The judge takes their word for it. And my dad said, "There was something going on in the courtroom that day." And from that day on, I was like, that was God. That's the only reason. There is no other reason but God. And then I went back to prison. I started working in recovery. I would go to all the Christian churches, and, I'm LDS, so I would go to the Mormon churches, but I would go to church on the street. I loved the music. I loved those ladies. I would go to prison fellowship. I'd go to Catholic services. And then COVID hit, and it was really hard because we didn't have anything. But yeah, I'm not kidding you. I received God again, sitting in shackles in the Graham County Courthouse. And the first time I went back there for a wellness court, I kept looking at that chair where I had been before. It's crazy to me that you and me just go rolling into the Graham County Court. Oh wait, remember the day we went to the jail? Remember the day me and you went to the jail to visit somebody, and I'm like, let's take a selfie in the jail because it's just so crazy.
Because we were on this side of the glass.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
me and you go into where the lawyers meet and talk to this young lady. I just went in last week and talked to somebody, Eric, Ashley contacted us and said, "Can you go into the jail and speak to Eric?" And Ruben and I went in there. And that's another thing is, TJ and Mary helps me get in there, is they care enough to let us go in there and talk to people. Because I'm telling you, back in the day when I'd be in county jail, it was all business. Like, there was none of that going on. We were criminals, we were scum, we were whatever. And that's the way it used to be. Like, you deserve to be in jail, like, just didn't care if we ever got out. Probation was going to send you to prison. IPS meant in prison soon. Your parole officer sucked. Your probation officer sucked. And it is different. I mean, you're always going to have that old guard that's going to give you a hard time, but man, they give you a lot of chances now.
Yeah.
What's crazy too is that we work with probation. Wait, we are on probation.
I'm on probation. As a matter of fact, I went to the probation house today with one of the girls out of the house because she had to turn in the probation phone.
Uh-huh.
So I called my probation officer and I'm like, "Are you in the office?" He goes, "Yeah, why? What's up?" I said, "Well, I'm coming to check on you since you don't come and check on me."
That's
And
right.
he
I know
started
that's right.
laughing. My
Yeah.
probation officer was he was tickled by it. He was like, "Well, that's a good thing, I guess." He's like, "Yeah, I'm in the office." So I go in there and I'm telling him like everything I'm doing, and he's just in awe of everything I've done because
Right.
before me being on probation, like I would go in there and be like, "I'm dirty." Or I
Yeah.
wouldn't even, I would call the UA line and it'd be like, you are required to test today. And I'd be dirty and I'd be like, oh wow, catch me if you can. Like, but now I go in there and it's just like, it's different. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about dropping a dirty UA. I don't have to
Right.
worry about going back to jail or going back to prison. I don't have to worry about probation continuing and being on my back and being on my back. And I asked him, he gave me my probation end date, which is this year.
Me
And
too.
I said, "Are you for sure I'm getting off in July?" And he said, he texted me back and he was like, "Yep, July 19th, you are off probation." And I was like, "I only got a little bit more to go." And he texted me and he was like, "Well, what are you gonna do when you leave there?" I said, "But I'm not leaving the house.
Right.
Like I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm good where I'm at."
Right.
Like I'm here to change lives, and my
Amen.
life was changed by the coalition, by you, by Cebus, especially by Cebus because
Mhm.
and Eric Baetti. My
Yeah.
Cebus caseworker, Tanya Hammett, Eric Baetti, they were there for me since
Hmm.
the beginning
Hmm.
and they never turned their back on me. Even Pamela Griffith was working at the time. Like I was going into IOP before I got thrown in jail, and I was going lit like a Christmas tree. Like, and she would not kick me out because she said something in me, something in you told me that you wanted this, and I
Yep.
really wanted to get clean. I just didn't know how to stop.
Me either. And that's why I always say this. I always say, like the girls in the house, and I tell them this all the time. I really admire and give it to people that can go to county jail, come out after a week, come out after 30 days, and maintain any length of sobriety. Because for me, I had to have handcuff therapy every time I got saved, every
Me
time I
too.
got sober. And I had to sit down in prison. I mean, I was sober for 6 weeks before I went, but I don't think I would have maintained that. I had done 60 days and I graduated from Crossroads, which saved my life because I wouldn't have even got to prison. I went straight to prison. And I do commend people that come out of county jail. I mean, I think it's a lot different now because they have the support. I mean, some of these girls that got out, what if the Caring Hearts wouldn't have been here? What if Sunrise wasn't there? How did they get a phone to contact parole? How do they have a towel to take a shower? Where did they live? And this is all possible because of Kathy and because of the
Yes.
coalition and because she knows how to write grants. And we're learning about that. But I don't think people really understand what Kathy does for this community, those houses. I mean, I'm sure people do, but not to the depth that we do.
Yeah.
I'm really proud to be a part of the Graham County Subsidies Coalition because there's just a little handful of us, and then we have community support. But we really do amazing things in this community, and the houses are going to be out there more. Sunrise is going to be out there more. People love to come see that, and I want to be out there more because I want to break the stigma against people that have been incarcerated and people with addiction problems because even though I have the job I do, I still run into people that I can feel the judgment like coming off them. There's people that don't think I should be in the position I am because I have this girl's had all these felonies off and on her life and you're putting these addicts in her hand or she shouldn't have this position. People are very judgmental. I'm the perfect person to have this because I'm with you guys. I'm there with you. Like we've
Yep.
all mostly done prison time. We've all I used to not, people don't understand. There was a lady that came into prison and did AA with us. Her name's June Badiata. She would come in, Corinne, you know her, and do AA with us. She had done time. She would come in every 2 weeks and she had more impact on me and more influence on me than any other program I took in prison. I used to hate confronting addictive behavior because you'd have an officer up there, not that I have anything against officers, telling you about why you're addicted, how it affects your brain, science says, whatever. You don't want to listen to that. So now
Yeah.
more programs going on in DOC. So that's why it's so important to have people like us dealing with these people. They're
Yes.
us. That's who there are people.
I'm very grateful that I went through addiction because I wouldn't be the person I am today. I understand addiction. I just if anybody out there, if you're struggling, if anything, hit me up.
We
I
are.
know a way out.
We do, and we're gonna be
We
out of
know a way
time.
out.
You know what? And she's right, and so am I. You can call us. We will meet you where you're at. We will meet you in the street. We do it. I had someone help me, and I asked him. I said, "Why did you help me?" And he said, "Because you called." And I've patterned my life after that. And everybody in my program, or I mean, I've been doing a few things with some of the guys from the house this weekend. You call, we're going to do the best of our ability to come. But Patricia, thanks for coming on. It was really amazing. I mean, I talk to you like this all the time, but a lot of people were watching. One more thing, you guys that are watching, please come on Wednesday night at the Sunrise program for our recovery event. We just want to tell you what we're doing in the community, and we want people to get on our what is it called? Our the Patricia, the little group we have, it's escaping me right now. Oh, the subcommittee. We plan
The
things to
subcommittee.
angels and our houses. We want to plan more things, but we need volunteers. It's a very small group, and they do amazing. Our friend should start with Amend Kareem, but we're gonna hop off. Thanks everybody for watching. You guys, please join us on Wednesday night, and thanks, Patricia.
Don't forget, reach out if you're struggling. You
Amen.
are not alone. Trust that you are not alone.
Hi, Andy. Hey, Andy was on here. He said loves us, Andy Hewitt. We love you too.
Oh,
All
I
right,
love you,
I
Andy.
love you. I love all our people. All right, you guys, we're gonna log off. Everybody have a good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye.
So